I am a recovering work addict, and what I mean by that is my relationship with work, everything associated with work. Just the idea that I should be working all the time, no matter what. That my thoughts constantly obsess and swirl around what needs to be done at work, what's happening at work, what's bothering me with work. And that it's an addiction when it becomes so pervasive that there's no room for anything else to enter into consciousness, unless it's related to that obsession. What's interesting is that of all the addictions that we humans are naturally prone to because of our minds, work addiction is the one that is pervasively, socially, culturally, familially acceptable. No one will intervene in a workaholic's life. And if they do, they're called weak and soft for wanting, quote unquote, things like rest, play, fun, relaxing. Those things are just so soft and unvalued in our culture, and I'm sure in many other cultures, but especially with this whole American dream. I mean, there's no end to the number of things that you can justify a work addiction with, because there's always something more to buy. There's always a bigger house to move into. There's a vacation home. There's another car. There's another toy for your hobby. There's a better school for your kids to go to. There's a more prestigious job to aspire to. And everybody sits on the sidelines and applauds your valiant efforts and admires your ambition and aspires to have your level of motivation. So how do you break out of that, step out of your side of yourself, and actually look at what that pattern of thinking is producing in your body, in your life, in your relationships? It's really difficult because there's no acceptable place to admit any sort of questioning of it, or it's just a very, very lonely place, and you face the possibility of losing every relationship that you've managed to accumulate through your addiction to work. So what are these people to do? Well, it occurs to me that my obsession with creating this kind of happy-go-lucky inspirational message about dealing with wellness, dealing with preventive things, trying to reach people before things become a problem, is an illusion, because until things actually become a problem for people, they are not going to address them for the most part. And the people who are actually doing preventive behaviors and mindful of their thinking and are developing the habits of health are the ones that really are not going to be seeking professional or paid advice or help or programs, because they're basically already doing it. So despite my resistance to defining a problem, appearing like a victim, having a diagnosis, the way to reach people is actually to admit that there's a problem, describing it, giving a voice to what they may not even feel permission to talk about, calling it something that makes it acceptable, creating a community around that, and opening it that way.